there seems to be a disconnect from where we were, when it comes to the Ike and Miles Davis status, where we were then to where we are now. Because it seems like right now we really don't have an identity. You know what I'm saying? We don't have an identity. We have a lot of artists. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent that leaves world-class studio here so that people don't feel that they have to go to Atlanta or New York or L.A., for top quality production. But production is one aspect, of the bigger picture. And there are so many other components that we still need, you know what I'm saying, to really get St. Louis, to really take St. Louis to a level where we are a self-sufficient team. Okay? And I guess the question I want to ask you guys is, how do we bridge that gap? How do we get there?
You know what? I mean, it's hard to say. I think there was probably, somewhere, in the late 60s, maybe early 70s, that I don't know from whatever reason, whether it was something going on with the nation to anything political, or if it was, something going on with the civil rights movement or what have you. But the music also changed as well. So, I mean, you had people moving around the country. So, maybe after the time where you had Ike and Tina and Miles and Chuck Berry and, those great artists out of St. Louis, I think maybe there was probably a short stint, maybe a decade or two in St. Louis where, was still trying to reconnect and really and find itself musically. And then there was a resurgence, probably in the mid-90s.
In the mid-90s. Where do you think we are today? Where is St. Louis today, the music scene, urban music in St. Louis?
Well, really, I'm speaking from just really, I've only been here about a decade, so I can speak to when I first got here, 2002, and, the music industry as a whole has changed, in just 10 years, I mean, just drastically.
Drastically.
And, yeah, drastically. So you had a lot of startup labels 10 years ago. You had more studios around. You had a lot more record stores. I mean, I've seen the street side records come and go, go out of business. Downtown music go out of business. A lot of staples of the St. Louis music movement as far as retail is concerned is gone. So I think where we are today is, and I feel a little funny saying we because I'm not necessarily a native of St. Louis, but I can just tell you from my perspective, that I think that once the city wraps its brain around it being a smaller market, and that all of the key players in this small music family that we have in St. Louis can start to, check their egos at the door and really make something happen. I think there'll be some amazing music synergy that'll go on in the city of St. Louis. And I can see it happening now. You mentioned some people, Jeff Cole, Teresa, Jenee. I mean, these are all people that we've worked with. I mean, I've produced records for some of my artists that have Teresa, Jenee, singing on, and, I've worked with her before, so, we've done stuff with Taff here at the studio. So I think it's, it's that shell is starting to be cracked, and maybe in a little while here, you'll see that synergy start to happen in St. Louis, maybe back to that status where we'll have another, Ike and Tina or, Chuck Berry come out of here, another Nelly, if you will, or somebody at that level.
Okay. We
got fresh cocaine on the way.
Oh yeah, we got fresh cocaine. Shout out to my little dude Jenee. You know what I'm saying? Well, the artist formerly known as Jenee. How about that?
Yeah, formerly known.
Cocaine. So there.